How about some Saturday night football in the Motor City? The Detroit Lions kick off their playoff run with a divisional matchup against the Washington Commanders. Let's get you ready for it right here on Inside the Pride.
Let's go. Caught. End zone. Touchdown, Detroit Lions. Kirby Joseph, you just ended this ball game. Touchdown, Detroit Lions. J-Mo, he strikes. Got him. Gone. End zone. Touchdown, Detroit Lions. There we go. Oh, baby. Brian Branch intercepted it. This game is over.
This is Inside the Pride, presented by Whisker, maker of the Little Robot. I'm Dannie Rogers. As Detroit gets set to host rookie quarterback Jayden Daniels in the Commanders, Lions have had one heck of a season that included reaching the highly coveted 15-win mark. Let's take one last look at the incredible run in Detroit so far.
Downtown Detroit, ready to open the 2024 season with higher hopes and more expectations than we've seen with this franchise in decades. Matter of fact, around the country, people are saying this is the team to beat. The Detroit Lions are the best team in football. No place I'd rather be than with 65,000 fans packing this building, ready to explode as the Lions and Rams get underway. Detroit, let's do this. Matthews got it, back to throw, looking, Stafford throws, middle, it is picked off by the Lions, intercepted by Detroit, Kirby Joseph has got it, the defense slams the door on LA again. Takes the snap, turns, gives to Montgomery, right side, end zone, touchdown, Detroit Lions! Yes. This game is over! Pack it up, boys, we're going home! An opening night victory for the Lions! Ford Field in downtown Detroit on Monday night, week 4 in the National Football League, and the Lions are set to take on the Seahawks.
Ever since you was a little kid, you waited for this moment. Now, feel me? Yes, sir. 1 on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Second and goal for the Lions from the 7. Goff out of the gun, Montgomery to his right. Jared leans in. There's the snap. Jared on the end around, gives it to Amon-Ra. He's going to throw it to Jared inside the 5 to the end zone. Jared Goff, oh, baby, on the receiving end of a pass from Amon-Ra St. Brown. That is Monday Night Magic.
Any chance for Seattle rests on this. This is it.
Takes the snap, back and looking, throws, middle, it is up and intercepted. Hey, Kirby Joseph, you just ended this ball game. What a night for the Lions. The Lions are on the road and ready for a big game. Let's just put it right where it is. Winner of this game will be in first place in the NFC North. Jake Bates with a 44-yard attempt, hash mark right side to give the Lions the lead.
Come on, Basie. Come on, Basie.
He's ready. There's the snap. There's the spot. Kick away. It is up, and it is good. Jake Bates sends it through. So here we go. One play separates the Lions from first place after all that. Darnold takes the snap, back, looking, rush comes, Darnold hit, Darnold down. This game is over. Trevor Nowaski with the sack. Your Detroit Lions are in first place. NRG Stadium in Houston, week 10 of the National Football League, and the Lions are on the road. It is a matchup of 2 first-place teams as they get set to face the Texans. So here we go. Jake Bates to win it from 52 yards out. He's ready. There's the snap, spot, kick away. It is up, and it is good! He got it! We're gonna fly home on the wings of Jake Bates! Ford Field in downtown Detroit on a Thursday night, week 14 in the National Football League, and the Lions are back in prime time as they get set for an NFC North battle against the Packers. Sold out, ready to rock. Ford Field, once again, the center of a big game for the Lions.
Hey, big boy matchup tonight, boys. Let's go to work. Prime time, what else do you want right here? Let me go. Hang out. 1 on 3. 1, 2, 3. Wait.
They will send Jake Bates in to try to win this game. There it is, Fox the hold, kick away. It is up, and it is good.
Let's go. Man.
You want to talk about grit. You want to talk about determination. You want to talk about resiliency. This team is all of those things. 11 in a row. That's a franchise record. 12-1. Best start in franchise history. Still on top of the NFC North. Still on top of the NFC. Dan Campbell never lets these guys blink, man. He never lets them blink. This was something else.
Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara, California, Week 17 in the National Football League.
Play clock down to 1. Goff wants the snap, hands it to Gibbs. Outside right, he's got the first down and more. 25-20, 15-10, 5, end zone, touchdown Detroit Lions. And we now set our sights on next Sunday night.
Ford Field in downtown Detroit, Week 18 in the National Football League, and we have a historic matchup for you. Lions and Vikings set for this evening, each team at 14-2. The winner of this one will take the NFC North and the top spot in the conference overall. They give it to Jameer. Big hole. There he goes down to the 20-yard line. Angling to the 15. Gone, baby. 5. End zone. Touchdown, Detroit Lions. 25 yards.
They are still NFC North champions as they defend the division title that they won last year. They earn the #1 seed in the NFC. They earn a first-round bye. If you reside in the NFC, the road to Super Bowl 59 in New Orleans goes through the Motor City. What a night in downtown Detroit.
Coming up next, QB1 Jared Goff stops by the studio to recap this season and look ahead to the playoffs. Then head coach Dan Campbell breaks down the Commanders. Inside the Pride, we'll be right back.
Inside the Pride is presented by Whisker and brought to you by the Ford Motor Company, Henry Ford Health, and by Meyer.
Welcome back. Big week for the Detroit Lions heading into the playoffs. So we are joined by quarterback Jared Goff and taking a look back at this regular season. Even in Week 18, a lot of people had the Lions as underdogs. Yeah. After everything you guys had proved this season, are you tired of it yet?
That's all right. We're pretty used to it. And yeah, 15-2, it's been a great year and a lot ahead of us. But yeah, certainly accomplished a lot and we'll get to enjoy that at some point, but not quite yet.
A lot of the reason why a lot of people favored Vikings was because of the defensive injuries. 16 of those guys had gone on IR this season. Only 3 had come back from those injuries. What responsibility did you feel as starting quarterback to rally the group when you kept seeing those injuries happen?
Yeah, you try to throughout the whole year to just, keep everything going. And I think offensively, we knew at certain times we were going to have to score some points. And there were those times, but there's a lot of times where they picked us up. And certainly in this last game against the Vikings, they carried us through that. And those guys stepped up in a big way. And those stops in the red zone against a dang good offense and against dang good receivers and quarterback, it's tough, and they got us that W.
What respect did you gain for Aaron Glenn coordinating this defense?
Oh, I've always had respect for him, but yeah, it's been impressive to watch. And I think back all the way to the first year together, and how far they've come and how far he's come. And this past week, it was kind of such a showcase for him and that defense, and what he's done is tremendous.
Offensively, it seems like there's not a record this unit hasn't broken, either franchise-wise or NFL-wise this season. What's the proudest accomplishment for you when you look at this offense and what it's done?
I mean, winning 15 games for sure is going to be #1, and we won in a ton of different ways, which is exciting. We won, like I said, playing great defense, and we won as an offense running the ball. We won as an offense throwing the ball. We had a game without punting against Jacksonville. We might have had 3 games without punting. But I think, the 4 guys with 1,000 yards is pretty impressive. I don't think that's been done before. That's always something that I'm super proud of, is being able to spread the ball around and get the ball to a multitude of guys. And then just the selflessness of these guys is so impressive, and everyone just wants to win. And being on a group like that makes my job a lot easier.
When you talk about the 4 players who have 1,000+ scrimmage yards, is it ever in the back of your mind, are you paying attention to how many yards that your receivers and running backs have?
I'm not. No, I'm not. We were aware at the end of that last game to try to get J-Mo over 1,000 receiving, but throughout the season you're not aware. It just kind of happens organically, and those guys are studs. They make it happen. I'm able to get them the ball, and they do a good job with it.
You talk about all the ways that this team has won, including trick plays, stumble bum, all of those great things that we were able to see this past season. The trust has to come from somewhere. I know it's been over the last 4 seasons you've been able to build it, but if those plays don't work, do you stop doing them or do you keep trying them? Yeah.
Sometimes they don't. They work for the most part this year, but sometimes they're just like regular gains, and yeah, a lot of them have been touchdowns, but yeah, it's been good. Ben's done a great job of getting those ready to go, and some of those ideas are sometimes off the wall. Sometimes we'll run some in practice that never show up in the game, and I'm sure we'll have some coming in for the playoffs.
What has been your favorite trick play this entire season?
My favorite one. My favorite trick play is for sure the one that got to Panay in Dallas, even though it got called back for a penalty and it didn't score.
Yeah.
That one was by far the most creative. I don't think anyone's ever, well, I guess the one where Panay was going to throw it is maybe slightly more creative.
Insane.
So both of those two. But the one where he got it on the hook and ladder is something I don't know if it's ever been done before, and it's pretty fun to see.
I'm glad you talk about your offensive line, because when they talk about you, they're glowing. Like Frank Ragnow, Taylor Decker, they're in awe that you want to come in and hang out with them in the O-line room. What makes you special or different that you want to go and do that? And it kind of throws them off a little bit.
I didn't know that was special or different. I thought that was just normal. Those guys are my buddies, and I like hanging out with them, and they take care of me, and I try to take care of them. But I'm just so thankful for them and all those guys in that room, and keep me upright and keep our running backs, having big wide open holes, and it's fun.
Looking to the playoffs, you've been in this scenario before where you've gotten a wild card bye heading into the divisional round. What does it take to get a team back on track after a little bit of a break?
Yeah, we just got to practice, and then when we get back, just getting back into the rhythm of things. I don't think it'll change too much, and we played pretty well off the bye this year, and I think we'll kind of have a similar schedule coming off the bye after this week, and be ready to go.
It seems like in week 18, everyone was peaking in every unit. Would you have rather kept that rolling, or do you prefer the rest?
Oh, certainly the rest. Yeah. I mean, either way, it would have been fine. You figure it out, but there are a lot of advantages to having a week off, and knowing you got a home game next week, and the team that you're going to end up playing is playing this week and probably fighting a hard 4-quarter game, and they're going to have to come to Ford Field and deal with us after they get whatever win they get this week.
We've heard stories about Dan Campbell in team meetings. What's been your favorite way he's been able to rally you guys and fire you up before a big game?
My favorite way, man, I think he's just got such a great feel for when it's time to really give us a great speech, and when it's time hey, we're ready, we don't quite need that. And I think that's where it makes him so unique. Obviously he's such a great motivator, but he knows he doesn't need to do it all the time. He knows sometimes we're just ready to go, we're locked in, and I think his feel for the room, his feel for what we need at any given time throughout a week is what makes him special.
When has he been the most passionate this past season?
The most passionate he was last week. Whenever we play these division games, he gets pretty fired up, and he said it after the game, but just reminding us to remember who we are, and maybe with a little bit more expletive than that, but we're the Detroit Lions, and we're 14-2 coming into this week, and just remember that.
Across this entire team, I mean, we talk about Dan Campbell rallying the troops, but who on this team also feeds into that as well?
Oh man, everyone. Yeah, and we know what time it is. You don't got to tell us. I think, rewind last year when we lost the NFC Championship, it was turned on right then and there. All right, we know what time it is, and throughout the offseason, throughout this season, getting ourselves ready to go, and now we're here, and we absolutely know what time it is, and getting a guy like Alex Anzalone back on defense was massive. Special teams, defense, offense, all of us have been playing together and for each other, and it's a fun time to be a Lion, and we got to go make it happen. Ford
Field really has become a home field advantage. How special is it to play in there for playoffs that you already know how that feels like?
It's so special. It really is, and our fans have really come alive, in the last couple of years, and really, I think about last year, the playoff experience was just such a different feeling and such an unreal experience, and they've kind of carried that all the way through this season. And Sunday night was just another example of it. It was impressive. The delay of games, the false starts, all that stuff is a credit to them, and we're going to need them to bring it 2 more times.
The reality of this Detroit Lions team this season is that it can compete for a Super Bowl, and it has proven that. You played in that game. What makes this journey in Detroit so special for you?
Yeah, it's been great. It's been a great year, and like I said, we'll enjoy this and what we've done at some point, but it's not quite there yet, and we know that, and got more work to do. This is check number 1, and we knew coming into the year we wanted to win the division first and foremost, and then after that you're playing for seeding, and so we were able to win the division, get the number 1 seed, and so our first goals are done, and now the next goal is up.
Welcome back to Inside the Pride, now joined by head coach Dan Campbell. And a big difference from playoffs last year is that majority of the players who will line up for you Saturday night have played in playoffs. They have that experience now. Maybe besides Terrion Arnold, who will still tell you he played at Bama, so it counts, of course.
Yeah, right.
So how valuable is having all of these experienced playoff guys?
I do think it's important. I think for guys to have been through it, our core's been through it, they kind of know what to expect. And as long as you keep the hunger and that want, that desire to go out and win, then the experience helps you. If you don't really keep that and you think you're just going to walk in and everything's going to fall into place, you're going to have problems if you do that. But our guys, we're wired right, and we'll be just fine.
Walking into Ford Field will be a rookie quarterback in Jaden Daniels of the Washington Commanders. He's all we hear about, mainly because of his ability to impact the game with his legs. Led the Commanders in rushing this season. How do you start to stop him if he gets going in this game?
This guy's something else. He's a really good player. And I think there's so much of it is, like we talk about every week, man, the discipline of your rush lanes. Discipline, discipline, discipline. And it's going to be hard. There's nothing easy about it. The minute you take an edge and you give him this type of lane to run through, and man, you got to do the dirty hard work. Stay right down the midline. Just keep working, keep working, keep working, keep closing, keep closing. You have to, because this is what he does, and it happens every game. And guess what? He's going to get a couple in this game. That's going to happen. You just can't let it be a game full of this.
Daniels has, had a great season so far. A lot of that has to do with a veteran wide receiver in Terry McLaurin. He had 7 catches in the first playoff game, 4 of those for a first down. What is that duo doing so well that's making them one of the top offenses?
They have a really good rapport together. They worked well together. You can tell that they really have grown together this year. And this is just one of a few things here. First of all, I love this guy's release here. You know, McLaurin's release, you really got a two-way go. He chooses inside, he stacks a defender, and this guy can throw a heck of a deep ball. This thing's going over the top with touch, and he's going to make these contested catches.
Defensively, Commanders have a very well-known name in that unit, Bobby Wagner, 13 seasons. Every single one of those seasons, he's eclipsed the 100 tackle mark. If you talk about production longevity, he's going to be one of the top linebackers ever to play in the NFL. What does he do so well in Washington right now?
He's a consistent player. There's a reason why Dan Quinn wanted him there. You know, he's got a history with him. He knows him, goes way back. But he's smart. He's a smart, crafty player. He understands pre-snap looks. He watches a ton of tape. He's got a pretty good idea where you're going to run it, when you're going to run it, when you're going to throw it, play pass. And so because of that, he can still play one step ahead. You know, he's going to beat the blocker to the ball here, makes a play. Made a huge play in the game the other day with the takeaway. He's still got all that ability, and he's really kind of their bell cow over there.
Haven't played Commanders yet this season, so they do not know exactly what they're walking into when it comes to Ford Field. How high is the bar set in terms of what the crowd does to impact other teams?
This is a unique place, as we know, and I don't think everybody understands until they come in here. And so this will be a great experience for us and hopefully for them. This will be a great experience.
We appreciate you, Coach. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Wishing for something special? Maybe it's VIP seats, the meal of a lifetime, or an unforgettable journey. Whatever it is, Community Financial Credit Union can make it a reality. Share your impossible dream at impossibledreams.org by scanning the QR code at the bottom of the screen. Welcome back to Inside the Pride. Before we close out today's show, I took to X and I wanted to know what everyone did over the bye week or their favorite moment from this past season. And I love what John sent in. He said his daughter won them contest tickets, so he took her to her first Lions game, which was Week 18 against the Vikings. To be honest, Dad, I think she took you to the game because she won the tickets. And he said she got up early and went to school the next day. I love this, girlfriend. We're all in this together. Over the weekend, Detroit Auto Show kicked off. There was a Ford reveal event, and this guy had no idea that QB1 Jared Goff was going to come up and sit right next to him. He actually acted really cool, calm, and collected. Shout out to this guy. I have a feeling his entire life is made after meeting Jared Goff. And last but not least, this is one of my favorite moments that DB Nicholson sent in, and he said that his entire family had dinner one night all wearing Lions jerseys. I just want us to picture that. An entire family, just a normal weekday, having dinner decked out in Lions gear. I think we should all do this and channel this kind of energy going into playoffs. Speaking of playoffs, Detroit Lions kick off against the Washington Commanders Saturday night at 8 p.m. on Fox. We cannot wait to see you inside Ford Field for some more Detroit playoff football. Thanks for tuning in to Inside the Pride. We'll see you right back here next week.